Consider just only the following parameters. First, grinding wheel diameter. Second, regulating wheel diameter. Third, speed of grinding wheel. And fourth, speed of regulating wheel. Which of the above parameter will influence the axial feed rate in centerless grinding? In centerless grinding, we have axial feed formula like pi d n to sin alpha, where d and n, these are diameter and speed of regulating wheel. From this particular formula, option number 2 and option number 4 becomes correct, and statement number 1 and 3 are incorrect. So for these particular question, statement 2 and 4 are correct. So option A will go with our answer. So our answer will be A. 2 and 4 are correct. A metric thread of pitch 2 mm and a thread angle 60 degree is inspected for its pitch diameter using a 3-wire method. The indicated diameter of the wire will be nearly. It is easy problem from metrology. The same problem has been asked several times with the same data. In this 3-wire method, the diameter formula goes like P by 2 sec theta by 2, where P is pitch. In our question, pitch is given 2 mm, so P is 2 mm, and theta is given 60 degree. So we can use these two data here, 2 by 2 into sec 60 divided by 2. So D will be 1 upon cos of 60 by 2 is 30, and cos 30 is equal to root 3 by 2, so it will be 2 by root 3, or we can write it as 2 by 1.73. It will come around 1.15 mm, and the option which is nearest possible is C. So our answer will be option C, that is 1.15 mm. Consider the following statements with reference to NC machines, numerically controlled machines. First, both closed loop and open loop system are used. Second, paper, tapes, floppy tapes and cassettes are used for data storage. Third, digitizers may be used as interactive input device. Fourth, post processor is an item of hardware. Now among these 4 statements, you need to choose the correct one. If we go each statement one by one, then first statement is both closed loop and open loop systems are used in NC machines. Since these NC machines are smart machines, these work by themselves. If we feed a program to this machine, the machine will do all the manufacturing processes. If the closed loop system is there, then a feedback loop is also created. If open loop system is there, then there is no feedback system will be there. So both are possible, closed as well as open loop system are possible. Second, paper, tapes, floppy tapes and cassettes are used. So these are in the form of their evolution only. Initially paper were used, then tapes were used, cassettes were used. So it is again a correct explanation. Third, digitizer may be used as interactive input device. Yes, it is correct, because right now the NC machines, what we see in nowadays, they use digitizers as interactive input device. We use CNC machines in which touch input is also provided. Fourth, post processor is an item of hardware. It is an incorrect statement. It is not hardware oriented thing. It is something related to program. So statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct and statement number 4 is incorrect. The correct option may be option number D, which states statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct. The same question has been asked in GATE, so it is a repeated problem from GATE in engineering service examination. Consider the following benefits of CIM, computer integrated manufacturing. First is less direct labor, second less scrap and rework, third higher machine use. Now computer integrated machining or manufacturing is included in our manufacturing process just to include these all points. So all the three statements are correct. With use of CIM, less direct labor is included, yes, correct, because we have some smart machines working over there. Second, less scrap, since human error can be reduced, so less scrap and rework will be there, and machining use will be very high. So all the three statements are correct, so our option will be A, in which 1, 2 and 3 all are correct. Statement 1, in sugarcane crushing rollers, the fit between the cast roll and the forged steel shaft is of interference type. Now statement 2, this helps in removing the roll from the shaft whenever not needed. Now we'll look at statement 1 and statement 2. Statement 1 suggests that the fit is interference type. This is why the both units can run together and both do not split while in use. Now statement 2 suggests that this helps in removing the roll from the shaft whenever not needed. Now if statement 1 is correct, statement 2 cannot be correct because interference type fit do not allow us to remove the objects whenever it is required. Like in interference fit, the hole size is less than the shaft size, and hence whenever the fit happens, it is almost permanent kind of fit. So statement 2 is not correct because interference fit will not allow you to remove this roll from the shaft whenever not needed. So statement 2 is wrong. Our answer will be option C, which suggests statement 1 correct, statement 2 is false. Statement 1, thicker section of casting take longer to solidify than thinner section. Statement 2, thicker section of casting carry residual stresses. Now we need to look at both the statements and then finalize our answer. Statement 1 suggests that thicker section of casting take longer to solidify. Now we have an equation for solidification time, the time directly proportional to V by A square. So it is solidification time, it directly proportional to volume upon surface area, it is surface area. Now for a given volume, if I am having some thicker section and for that particular volume if I am having a thinner section, it is obvious that the area corresponding to 1 and area corresponding to 2, there will be a relation that area 2 will be greater than area 1. If the volume is same, then as we increase the area, time decreases. That means as we increase the area, that means we are going for thinner sections. For thinner section time is less, for thicker section time is more. And in statement 1 it is suggested that thicker section of casting takes longer to solidify, which is correct, yes. If section is thicker, area will be less, time will be more. And if area is more, that means thinner section, time will be less. Now statement 2, thicker section of casting carry residual stresses. Now it is a thicker section. Whenever thicker section, any thick section gets solidified, it gets solidifies, first the area, the surface area solidifies first. Now from this surface, solidification starts toward center of the object. From all the direction, solidification starts. Now due to this solidification from all the sides, the material gets contracted. Due to this contraction, several stresses develop inside the casting. It is true that as the material becomes thicker, these residual stresses which are due to the contraction, surface contraction, increases, and to reduce those stresses we prefer several kind of processes in our casting, like directional solidification we use chaplets, we use solidification starting from center also. So several processes we use just to minimize these residual stresses, but it is true that as the section becomes thicker, these stresses increases, so statement 2 again goes right. But these two statements are not directly connected. Yes, there is a connection that thicker section takes more time, but this stress thing is related with contraction, not time. So from the observation we can put our answer as B, where both the statements are correct, but statement 2 might not be the correct explanation for statement 1. Statement 1, sand with grains of uniform round shape is preferred for preparing molds. Statement 2, if grains are large and regular in shape, the air venting property of mold prepared with them would be better. Now, statement 1 is suggesting that we must use uniform and round shaped sand to prepare our mold. Yes, it is correct, because as we use uniform and round shaped sand, it allows air to pass through the vents. Now, such vents are required, such voids are required in our casting, because whenever we prepare any cast and some metal, liquid metal is poured into this space, it carries several gases. Now there must be some space that these gases escape from this casting. If it is not happening, that means our casting will be having some sort of defects. Now this defected casting is of no use, hence the sand with grains of uniform and round shaped is always preferred. So statement 1 goes right. Statement 2, if grain are large and regular in shape, the air venting property of the mold prepared with them would be better. This is what we were discussing. So statement 2 is correct as well as correct explanation. So we will write our answer as statement number option A, which says both statement 1 and 2 are individually true, and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1.